everybody. Welcome to Talks with Toya. How are you today? I am beyond excited. I have a very special guest. You guys know me, I always have a story behind my music, and I was just telling her that I could tell my life story by what I was listening to. So, believe it or not, I have the lead singer from the group Virtue, Miss Karima, with me, and I'm beyond like, you see, I'm cheesing my face is all tight. So I'm beyond excited. So let me just bring her on. Thank you all for tuning in. I've got Miss Karima with us. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Good. I am great. I am beyond excited to have you here and
Oh,
just
thank
kind of
you.
chatting it up. I kind of was reading your bio, and I'm gonna start with the food first because you already know. Um, you know. So I hear you're doing delicious homemade soups and such. What made you get into that? And are you feeding other people? Are you just cooking for yourself? Are you sharing recipes?
Well, to answer your first question, the music industry can be kind of rough, and so I'd hit a bump with it being consistent enough to travel and make money, and
Okay.
so I was at my wit's end. And so I told God I needed something. And this is me and God. Our relationship is just like this. Like me and you talking, I talk to him like this all the
Yeah.
time. Like, listen,
Hmm.
I need something for me. And I don't know what that is, but I need it not to cost a lot of money. I need it to be something that I can make money from, but I won't have to spend a lot of money.
Okay.
And I prayed that prayer. I was in tears. I was like frustrated and, the whole nine of being not where you want to be
Mm.
and trying to figure out how you're going to get where you need to be, just a little bit. And so when I prayed, I think I forgot that I prayed that prayer. One week, I craved chicken noodle soup like every single day. And I don't even like chicken noodle soup, if I'm honest. I've never liked it before
Okay.
because it's always been bland and it's had what, one carrot, one noodle. I'm like, this is
She
disgusting.
said
I
one
didn't like
carrot,
it.
one noodle.
And so I just excuse me, the craving would not go away. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the soup. I mean, I'm from New Orleans. How hard can soup be, to make? And but turns out everybody don't know how to make soup because you have to make that broth taste really good. And I'm not like a buy the broth type kind of girl. I want to make the broth. And so I made this soup. And when I tell you, Toya, it tastes amazing. I
See, you
was
about
like,
to make
what
me.
in the world did I just create? And so I got in the shower after I made this soup. I had to pick my daughter from school, so I was rushing. And I was like, oh, in the shower, I still not understanding that God is letting me, make this soup because it's about to bless some people. I get in the shower and I'm crying. I'm like, Lord, I don't know what you're doing, but I already told you I need something for me. And I said, I really need this. I need something for Karima. I
Uh
need
huh.
some type of income to take
Come
care of
on.
myself,
Hmm.
and so I audibly heard fill the jars. And I'm like,
Yes.
fill the
Can somebody say
jars.
fill the jars? Type that in the chat. Put fill the jars out
So
there.
I'm like, I don't know what that means. I ignored it. I'm still crying, telling God off in my way. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but you promised me. So
Mm.
something has to give. So I get out of the shower, I'm rushing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to take some of this soup to my daughter who always wants a snack after school. And I'm
Okay.
like, soup is going to be it. And I didn't know what I was going to put it in, but I'm in the search of looking for something to put it in. I had 3 mason jars in my pantry with tops. I had done a juice fast or something a
Okay.
year or so, and I'd saved the jars with lids. It was perfect. I poured that first jar of soup, and I kid you not, my hand shook. And I was like, what? I said, God, you want me to sell? No, you can't. No, you want me to sell soup? Who's gonna buy soup from me? I was like, I'm talking like because it's just me and God.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna pan out, but who's gonna buy it from me? And so I went on. I was like, okay, so if this is what I'm supposed to do, I need a name for the soup, God. I need a way to. I don't know how to get it out.
Okay.
Girl, when I tell you I sat down 5 minutes, I had to spare. The name came to me like instantly, and the name was available on Instagram, on everywhere. It was available for my website, everything. Somebody had gifted me a whole website. Just to make a long story short, I was gifted everything I needed.
Come
I
on.
just needed to be obedient. And so that was in November. By December, I had learned from a friend of mine how to ship and package and everything. And I'd sold maybe 30 boxes of soup by December. I was shipping it everywhere across the country,
Wow.
not just one jar, like 10 jars at a time, 12 jars in one box. It was just crazy. And so I was like, wow, when you ask God for something,
So, come on.
when you ask him for something, and that's the story of my life. That is the story of my life. He has never failed me. And
Mm,
if I've failed, if I've lacked in something, it's been on my own because I haven't walked in what I've asked him to like lead me in. I've always took the alternate route, trying to get there quicker. Or it's like if we just would just if we're asking God, we got to learn to take our hands off of stuff.
oh,
You know what I mean?
Jesus. Come on.
And so
Mm.
that has been my process with every single thing since then. Have I had discouragements? Have I had have I had doubts? And of course, I'm human. At the same time, I'm just like, listen, you know what? I surrender. I'm gonna
Listen.
just let you lead because you've never led me wrong. And so that is the soup story. And yes, God even told me, it's like, Karima, this is not the end for the soup because the pandemic kind of slowed everything down with
Okay.
shipping and getting
Yeah,
things there on time because it's perishable, it's all
that's true.
natural, and I didn't trust, that it couldn't be a guarantee to have it delivered on time because it was spoiled. But
Mm.
yeah, but God told me, I'm gonna have it in stores. I'm like, okay. So
Come
as of late,
on.
that's what I'm waiting on. I have it's in hands of manufacturers. They're consulting about it, and
Work, ma'am. Work.
that's
You hear?
hey,
But you said you asked God, and I think it's key
I
the thing
did.
you said to the people that are watching. You were very, very specific and say, I asked God, and then I took my hand off of it,
You
and
got to take your
everything
hands.
you needed was gifted to you. That right there is a testimony because so many people get so
A
worried.
$3,500 website
Oh,
given to me, a printer never in the box, brand new. Like everything, I'm not just I'm not exaggerating. Every single thing was given to me. My business
mm,
cards, my thank you cards,
Jesus.
everything. I paid nothing for it. Nothing
Mm,
for
mm.
it.
You just had to
So
go in
yeah,
there and make the soup.
that's it. And make a video and say, hey y'all, this is what I'm doing.
She said,
I've
hey,
never
y'all.
done it before. I would like for you to taste it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but if you want to try it, inbox me. I
Mm,
had so
mm,
many
mm.
DMs. I had so many messages. I was shipping soup like crazy until the website was actually finished and, where you can actually place an order. And that one
Awesome.
recipe, yeah. And you said, am I sharing recipes? Sometimes I cook all the time on my Instagram. I haven't lately, but I'll share, recipes and whatnot. And we actually did make a tomato basil soup on the Virtue Girls page. So, yeah,
Okay.
so I had one chicken noodle soup, but it turned into 9 different recipes of different soups. So, yeah,
Well, the
God is
intro, maybe we
amazing.
could do a cooking with Karima as a
That would be
do an
awesome.
IG live and just tell people to come on and just cook with
That would be
you and
fun.
not anything that you're working with the manufacturers, but of course, just something just
No,
to
absolutely.
especially with everything being natural and you wanting us to be
Yeah.
healthy because it's important for us to take care of our body. And so
Hmm.
you were doing what God said to make sure we had healthy, non-processed food
There you
to a
go.
certain degree.
Everything's a ministry, man. Everything is a ministry. Food is a ministry. Singing is a ministry. What you do is a ministry. Everything is a ministry. And if your gifts are inside of you, they are meant to be shared. And so that is like so huge to me, like to be able to give back,
Hmm.
in any way I can, especially with making people feel good about food. What?
Mm, mm,
Absolutely.
mm, mm. I can't wait to hear what your jingle's gonna be.
I haven't
That's
even
what
thought
I'm gonna
about
be
it. Now
waiting
you
for.
got me. Now
I
you got me thinking.
like you singing right, so I'm like, oh, this jingle about to be fire.
Ooh, yes,
The
indeed.
jingle
Yes.
gotta be fire. The jingle
Yes,
gonna
it
be
does.
fire. So you've got your single out. I'm gonna put it up for everybody. If you have not heard, listened, or purchased, streamed Redeemer, you've done yourself a disservice. So I'm telling you tonight to make sure you go ahead and check her out. It is a blessing. I've been listening to it most of the day today, which I heard it on the radio. Shout out to our local DJs here in the city. And I
Awesome.
was like, I knew the voice, but I didn't realize. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, this, she sounds familiar. Like I know her, but at the time I must have missed the introduction. But it's a beautiful song. And by the way, you're wearing the mess out of this gown. I just have to, you just said, here I am. Like I said earlier, here I
Oh
am. Love
my
me. It's beautiful.
gosh. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. And if you have not heard her single, you need to do so. It's available in all digital outlets. Now, don't be sharing. I always give my little disclaimer. Don't be stealing. You don't do that. Don't do that. Help. We got to do right by our people. We need to purchase. We need to stream appropriately. So make sure you tell a friend. And also, congratulations because you also made Billboard for the second week in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So, congratulations
Oh, thank
on
you so
that.
much.
How did that feel when you got that
Listen,
news? Because this is your second project, right?
no, this is my first. Well, it is my second in 11 years, so it's like almost like
Oh,
my first. You know what I mean?
okay.
Like the first one that I did by myself, it didn't do as well as we thought it would be. But I count it as God's timing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is the way it's supposed to happen and in the timing that He wants it to. So, this is my first number one record in 25 years. I like even with Virtue, we've never reached number one. We've reached three. We've had like
Well, come
five top
on. Y'all
tens,
give her some love.
but this is my first number one, and so
Wow.
I just feel like it's like when God, His timing, because I have been like I'm not young.
Well, you look amazing, darling.
I have been in the industry for a
Darling.
good 25 years. I will be 48 in April.
You're killing the game, man. I would have never guessed.
So I'm just, I mean, just and age is shouldn't be a huge factor, but sometimes we measure our success by our age, and so I'm just like, wow, now all those things that I've read about, Oprah making it at such and such an age, and this person making it at such. I'm like, age is really nothing but a number. Timing, when God feels that you are ready on the inside, when He has done something incredible on the inside that He wants you to share, then He will release and open doors for you to reach
Yes,
where He
God.
wants you to go. And there's no way I could do that on my own. He placed the perfect team. I mean, even the way that, how I actually got a record deal in a pandemic. I was at working at like I was a design consultant working on an amazing 77 square foot 77,000 square foot building, and you guys have one in Columbus, but I will not say the name.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
it's
Yes, ma'am.
beautiful, and you can eat there, and it's the chandelier. It was gorgeous, right? I asked God like to give me a job so I can supplement my bills and everything. So I went and I worked as a design consultant and as a designer at this firm, and I mean, I was at this retail store, and it was incredible. It was so much fun. I had great, like, people that I work with, but I still was empty. And I
Mm,
said, God, I said, this is just feels weird. Like, like I'm able to take care of my bills, but it's still, there's something lacking. So I gave myself 1 year. 1 year turned to two, and I'd had enough. I was like, listen, God, I'm walking down these long, beautiful hallways, looking at these chandeliers, saying, you know what? You got to do something else. It's time to
Jesus.
move. It's time to move. And so in that time, I called on one of my friends in Atlanta, was my best my writing partner. He wrote 18 songs with me on the Just Karima project, and he's just a really amazing producer that I love and writing partner. And so I reached out to Terrell King and I said, listen, I got the bug. We got to write something. So we wrote a song in August, but I started praying that prayer in July, and it was so strong, like the feeling of like, look, I told God, I said, I'm not going back to work here in January at the top of the year. You got to do something else. And
Amen.
so that's the relationship I have with God. And when I say, look, you promised me, because you don't lie. Look,
Come.
my hands are off of it, but I need you to lead. I need you to do something, and I need you to do it like big. I
Listen.
need something different. And so in that meantime, I'd written a song, and technology is so amazing. You can upload a song, and you can do all the things yourself. And so I didn't have an outlet like a record label or, extra funds to do it big time. So I was just going to do it on my own. I started doing clips and stuff, putting it on my Instagram page, on my Facebook page, one of my selfies. Like I made all of this stuff myself. And it's still nothing really happened. So I got a little discouraged. And I told God, I said, I don't want to not believe you because you promised, everything I've asked, everything you've done for me over the course of my life, you've never failed me. I said, but this one feels like, I don't want this to be the end of my music career. I want to sing again. And so I started noticing that Lisa and Juan Winans had a song out called It Belongs to Me. Beautiful song. Marvin Winans is on it. And it just resonated. It made me cry. I was like, it does belong to you. I said, so what are you going to do for me? But more than that, God had me pay attention to who put their stuff out, like who put their material out. The quality was amazing. It sounded great. It looked beautiful. The pictures, their pages were like, curated. It was perfect. I was like, Lord, that's what I need. That's what I want. I said, and I hope this prayer that I'm about to pray is not a covetous one because I really want what they have. Like
Amen.
I want that record label. I need that label. I need that team. That's what I want. That's what I deserve. God, can you please open doors for me? Will you please do something different for me? And
Amen.
I promise you, by October, you know, I lost faith a little bit, in the asking. I'm like, well, maybe it's the end. So October rolled around, and I had the urge to pray again, like, Lord, I need that label to reach out to me. It
You
was a
better be
Thursday.
specific in the prayer, huh? That's what he
I
said.
it was a Thursday. I looked in my DM, and the CEO of that label was in my. I have goosebumps every single time I tell this story. I couldn't
Jesus.
make it up if I tried. I had a DM from the CEO of the label. And more than that, I knew him, didn't even know it. He had had this label for 14 years. I had no clue. He had worked with Virtue 19, 20 years ago, did a remix on He's Been Good that we didn't get to use. But the fact that we were able to, like, he just reached out to me, and I'm just thinking, this man saw, oh, okay, thank you, Jesus. But that was so quick. I was like blown
Wow.
away. And so I told God, I said, um, hmm, well, that was really quick, Jesus. So I'm asking the CEO, uh, did you see the music on my page? Is that why you reached out? And he said, what music? I never saw any music.
Whoa.
Never saw,
So he
never
never saw
saw,
any clips, but it
never
was in
saw,
your DM.
never saw
Somebody need to run. I would have
anything.
lost
I'm
it.
telling
I
you,
would have lost
never
it.
saw. I did. I almost dropped my phone. I was like, he
So
said he never saw anything. I said, so why did you reach out to me? He said, Karima, there's a light on your page, man. He said, there is something that draws people. He
come
said,
on.
there's a light. He said, and it just illuminates. And he said, I had to reach out to see what you were doing. Are you still
Jesus.
singing? What you doing with your sisters? Like, what's going on, man? I was like, what?
You cannot make that up.
What? And by December, I had a record deal. By January, I was getting ready, take it, in the studio, recording this amazing song. By February, I had put on that beautiful dress,
No, that dress was right.
photo shoot with Jay Bolin,
So we need to go back.
amazing.
We got to go back and look at that dress.
April, the song came out,
mm,
and now here we are at number one, 2 weeks in a row.
mm, mm, mm.
So, and in between that, just the fact that I was able to, I started listening to D Nice
Okay.
during the quarantine because I'm just being honest. I love music. I love all types of music. It's the positiveness in it. The sounds in different genres. I love it. So someone had sent me a text and said, "Hey, you don't want to miss the biggest party. It's going on in March 2020." And I was
Okay.
like, "What? This is crazy. It's already depressing because we're all locked down." So
Yeah.
I go into club quarantine, not thinking I enjoyed myself so much. This man has built such an amazing community amongst people who have never ever met before, who are now just getting to me. These people embraced me like they've known me my entire life.
Oh.
D Nice himself, we, because I was following him, I think we probably kind of thought we knew each other from the industry, but we'd never met. And so he got my song. I sent it to him not to play, but because, we're musicians and I'm just
Yeah.
like, take a listen to my new single. It's so great. This man plays it in Club Quarantine, and he has praise and worship on Sundays. When I tell you he fell in love with the song, so much so that he manifested that he was not because of my song, but he saw Club Quarantine on a much larger scale. So he wanted to have his first live show at the Hollywood Bowl in front of 18,500 people. Do you know he had me open with
Shut.
Redeemer?
What?
I sang at the Hollywood Bowl with D Nice and the Isley brothers and Deborah Cox and
Word to God.
Common,
You
and
can't
it
make
was
it up. You
Erica
cannot make.
Campbell and oh God, what's the other? He had another gospel artist. I can't think of the name. Oh God, I'm horrible. But we did a worship set right before, but I opened the entire show. So
With
I'm like,
Redeemer, and that's a
with
powerful song, let alone.
Redeemer. And I'm just saying that because I think that, sometimes as Christians, we get bent on just singing for the church. And I don't think that it's just for the church. And I love God so much so that I'm willing to sing it about him anywhere. I'm willing to tell anybody about his goodness. You know what
Amen.
I mean? And so if that is the different that he wanted to give me, I'm just like, okay, God, do it. He's given me so many followers, and now he's just a kind, amazing person. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to, connect with him on that way, on that level. And the song has blessed him so much. You know what I mean? And so whenever he has praise and worship, you can hear Redeemer in there. Sometimes it don't even have to be praise and worship. He'll just play it.
And when you look at it, and I love how you tell your story because it's this, it's God divine, and it's good God
Totally God.
intervention because you're
Totally God.
listening to him just because you're listening to him during quarantine.
Yeah.
Then let alone you're in club quarantine with him. Oh, and then you can't make it up.
I
You
know.
can't.
I know everything, like I said, is timing. And I know God, like he wanted that song to be heard on a level where people may have never ever heard of him before,
Mm,
or people may not even have known that there is a God that definitely cares, especially through a pandemic. Like
mm.
I'm able to, like, just be a light in that way, and it just feels so good to be able to have other people enjoy what God has given me.
That's right.
And there is no limit to where he'll take you if you're willing to go.
Y'all better listen to
So
her. That's all I have to say. And plus, the gown was already telling you that you should listen to her. But
that gown was crazy. It was
that
so
gown, I
amazing.
said,
I
"Oh,
had to
this
stand in
is
one place and literally like had to put it on me. Like I couldn't move. It was
I
crazy.
said,
It
this
was
is what we're
heavy.
doing.
It was
That
amazing.
that right there is inspiration." I said, she just said, "Redeemer." It was. I said, "Say less, friend." You had no extra in the
Listen,
background. Simple. I mean, very clean. Aesthetic. It looks. You. I was like, "Yes, ma'am. I love
the
it."
photographer was amazing. Drea Photography. I did everything in Atlanta.
Okay.
Everything, the whole team was phenomenal. Jay Bolin is incredible. He
Hmm.
he's one stylist that I work with that I truly can say who just gets it. He
Yeah.
gets everyone that works with him. Like he studies, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And he sees and he's like, bam, got it. So
Yep.
I was like, hands off.
Listen, I mean, it looked as if you like the gown was made just for you. It was like perfect. I was like, man,
He told
that's
me, he's like, oh
beautiful.
my God, you're not even ready for this. I was like, okay, because we did 5 looks. We did 5 different looks in that one photo shoot. So it was like a 12-hour day.
It was
But when
beautiful.
I tell you, it was worth every minute, every second. It was amazing. I had Rennie Best Class on my makeup. I had this girl in B Fly Brandy, the B Fly experience. I had a team, honey. It was amazing. It
It was a
was
whole
great.
production. I love it. I
All
love it.
production. Yeah, so
So
I'm
now that
excited.
you talked about your sisters just here recently, so I want to go with that. Like
Sure.
now you're solo. What can we talk about? How does it feel? Because those are your sisters. So
Yeah.
singing, and I was reading your bio how, kind of it was different the first time. So
Mm.
how do you feel now singing
I feel
solo
like
versus in the group?
I don't think I'll ever get used to not having them because they're my sister's number one. But the fact that we talk like 10 times a day definitely helps. Um, and they are so supportive. Like
Oh,
I couldn't have asked for a better family. When I tell you, like, in the last interview I had, I was just so grateful. Maybe I was live and I was just saying how my sisters really helped me live a dream because they didn't want to sing. I
what?
know I no, I knew I wanted to sing since I was 8 years old. So yes, they were willing to do this, but Ebony is still a teacher, and that's been her goal since she was in third grade. She knew she wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, wow.
Heather is actually an educator as well, but Heather has 4 children. So, and Heather will tell you because we pulled Heather in after we lost a group member and then another member left, and we just stayed a
I
sister
loved it,
trio.
and it was
And so
beautiful.
she was like, she'll tell you, I had no intention on being in the industry. She said, I've watched the struggles. I didn't want the ups and downs. I just wanted a regular old job to pay my bills. And she said one night the Lord just hit her, like it just hit her, and she had to say yes. So I know that they helped me live my dream, and so not being able to like go with them everywhere anymore, even though I feel like that, they're with me all the time. Obviously, I just said we talk on the phone like several times a day, like literally. I'm not kidding you. If you see my call log, you'll see it's my sisters. We FaceTime with my mom all day.
Oh,
They're the best. And so we kind of share everything in the moment. And so they have been such a support because at first I was like, oh my God, separation anxiety. And I don't want them to feel like I'm leaving them. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, because well, if I win, of course, we all win. But I just wanted us to all win together. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like at the same time. But sometimes God is just like, no, this is not, you asked me for this. This is your dream. And so I'm going to need you to step forward
hmm
and not be afraid because I was afraid. I've been afraid even when I did it the last time I was afraid. But I'll tell you, if you're afraid to do something God has told you to do it scared. He will work it out.
wow.
And
A
that's
friend of mine,
that.
she says, "Do it afraid." That is her hashtag. She says, "Do it
You have
afraid"
to.
every time.
You have to. So while it will always be different, I'll always have them, near. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And you were talking about winners. Y'all are Stellar and Dove award winners. So let's be clear. You do
Well, we
have
not one a stellar, but doves, yeah, a dove rather. But we've been nominated, stellars, Grammys, doves, all of that. So I mean, winning as far as getting
I
to
know what you
number
mean.
one or going,
Yeah.
on this amazing journey to get or keeping it going.
But
So
anyone
yeah,
who knows gospel music in the 90s, the late 90s to the early 2000s knows Virtue. Like that was you guys were it before I heard you before I heard Mary Mary. Like you guys
yeah.
were the go to. You said the I remember the orange suits, like y'all killed the game. Like I was like, oh, we can be saved and wear that.
Yes, I love it. It's so funny.
I'm
We're
being so serious.
we're being honored this year at our alma mater in Huntsville, Alabama,
hmm
and so we're trying to find something close to those orange suits to emulate the first record, but it's a little hard unless we have them made. But yeah, those suits were so staple and
Listen,
so iconic. Yes.
iconic. Yes, that record. I was just like, I was looking at that old record cover today. I said, man, I remember. I was like, oh, we can wear that and be saved. Okay.
Girl, yes, you can be cute and fly and
Li-
saved.
Listen, and the fact that, like I said, you guys were your sisters and singing, I just think that is so beautiful. And I know you've touched so many households. I mean, you can Google the Virtue records, and there's like millions and millions, or several on each. On like I was looking at YouTube videos this week too, and there's several like over thousands, like 39,000 likes, and people just have random different, just the song playing, not necessarily a video itself, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow. I mean, you guys have
Mm,
been out here for a long time, and definitely was a blessing to me because my when I'm growing
praise
up,
God.
you've got my grandma and them listening to the Mississippi Mass Choir, and we're listening
Oh, I love
to
them too.
Shirley Caesar. I love them, but it was good. So I had my own experience, and you
Right.
guys were that definitely for a lot of
Yeah,
us.
you needed something you can connect with.
And oh,
So
we connect. Oh, we
I
connect.
love that.
Yes,
That's so
yes.
awesome.
So you're also a mom, a single mom now,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I have a 16-year-old daughter. She's
aw,
amazing. I'm so extremely proud to be this girl's mother. She is phenomenal. Her dad sings in Take Six, so music kind of like hit her honestly.
mm-hmm.
So she sings beautifully. She taught herself how to play the ukulele, and it is the most incredible
I'm
gift. She does
jelly.
hair. I mean, I wish I could show you a piece of her artwork is behind me, and I literally just got
Really?
word that she's gonna. I'm dropping off a piece of her art this weekend. It's going to be displayed in West Elm Furniture Store for Black
What?
History Month. She has
Yes, work,
she has
daughter.
a she is working, honey. She she has worked and made several dollars because her work is incredible. She's never taken an art lesson. She's been drawing since she's been about 4. And
Mm-hmm.
the first picture she brought me, I literally thought she traced it. I said, "Did you trace this? It
I
looks
did the
so
same
good."
thing with my son. I said,
She
"You did."
said no. She
It got
said no,
offended.
mommy.
It got offended.
She was so offended. She said no, mommy. I looked at TV and I drew it. Beautiful, colored, perfect. I mean, just beautiful. And so it's just been, it's gotten better and better. And I've encouraged her by just not pushing her, but, buying her canvas and
Yep.
paint and paint brushes and just letting her teach herself. And basically, she's self taught. She draws beautiful gowns and like she is so talented and she wants to be an actress. So she's in acting lessons as well.
Listen, but why? But I mean, where she comes from, I mean, you've got multiple things. I mean, I'm looking. We got your list here. Like, what
Well,
would you expect? Just say it.
it's still kind of mind blowing to to look and be like, God, this is my child. She is so incredibly talented. It is amazing.
And I assume
Like
she sings as well.
I just I don't want to mess up the thing, but I have to show you this
And
picture.
I want to see.
Can you see that on the wall?
Oh my gosh, that is beautiful.
Yeah, she has art all on the walls, on the floor in my house.
Oh
But
wow.
this is
Has
the
she done a
picture.
mural in your house yet? Like, just give her a
No.
wall. I told my son, just take a wall. Just pick a wall. I don't
she
care. Just pick one.
she's amazing. She is incredible, and she's getting ready. She's working on a painting right now for Yvette Nicole Brown, the actress out in Los Angeles. She
Work.
has a
Go.
picture in Drake's new nightclub. I think we knew. I There's a lady that dressed me who actually works for all of those superstars, and she hired Carly to do a painting for Drake. It is hanging in his
Man,
dressing room in Toronto.
man.
She's worked for
Wow.
an NFL player here, drew his kids. I mean, it's so huge. And she does it in a few days and she's done. She's quick. This picture
Well,
probably took maybe, she said, maybe a day and a half.
mm,
She's
well, she's got
talented.
her multiple streams
So
as her mother does, because you still got.
okay, let me tell you. I told God, I said, Lord, help me to actually, continue to live my dream so I can fund hers. Because
Amen.
there's
I like
so
that.
many things that she really wants to do that I, as her mother, want. And her dad is definitely present. He's an amazing father. She has a
Mm-hmm.
great stepmom, and a little baby sister, and so we
Oh.
all, we co-parent very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I, as a single mother, there's just, there's things that I want for her that I
Mm-hmm.
want to say, mommy helped you do this. And I mean, of course, I'm helping her with her art and just getting into the hands of the right people. And I pray that prayer over her life every single day. Lord, help me to guide and lead her in the direction that you want her to go and give her discernment, to have the right friends and right people around her. Because, girl, life is crazy. And as a
Listen.
teenager, you know what I mean? So I'm just grateful that I had the upbringing I did with a mother as strong in her faith as my mom is. My mom
Mm-hmm.
raised us single handedly. We lost everything in a house fire when I was about 4 or 5. Had to live with
Wow.
my grandmother. Like we lived in a 3-room house. It was a ton of us, but we worked it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had all of these great morals and values,
Well,
even though we
shout out
didn't
to the
have money.
mommies. Shout out to the
Okay.
moms, because my mom
Shout
was.
out to the mothers
Yeah,
who did it
moms
on their
hold it
own. So
down.
yes, it's not impossible. You can do anything with God's help. So yes, being a mom is an amazing task and I don't think God could have given me anything greater to do.
Listen, and I know that we were talking about the mom and your sisters. I wanted to also give them a shout out because being educators during the
Oh, they're
pandemic,
amazing.
listen, mad
Hmm.
love to them.
Woo!
I don't know how they're weathering, but I'll definitely add them to my prayer list.
Oh yeah.
Actually last week, so that's why I'm bi-weekly now because last week I was did my swearing in, actually ran for school board here locally.
Oh
And
nice.
so I swore in last week for that. So I have a heart near and dear for our educators because it's not
Hmm.
easy out here, let alone just educating during in the times that we're in. But now with the pandemic, I couldn't, I don't even know how they do it. I just feel like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, and it's hard, but my sister is, she's one of the best teachers. Her students love her.
I
She's
bet
called
they do.
Superstar Teacher, and actually she has a book out, and it's called The Superstar Teacher.
I am
She
going
gives
to get
amazing.
it. Is
It's
it on
so
Amazon?
amazing. It's on Amazon under Ebony Holland, or you can type in The Superstar Teacher. If that's wrong, inbox me. I'll give you the information.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's incredible. She's working with Eric, the hip hop preacher, Eric Thomas,
Okay.
who is really like our brother. But yes, she's going to be doing some stuff with him. So just really excited about her and Heather doing Chef Mommy. Heather is a mother of four, and every single one of her kids have food allergies. And so Heather took it upon
Wow.
herself to learn how to make everything from sweets to like anything that they are not able to have outside the home or in a restaurant. They get it. And when I tell you the girl can cook, I mean, everybody in my family cooks, but it takes a special kind of cook to be able to create something
With the
without
allergy.
dairy, without, all of the nuts and the fish. And she can really cook. And so she has the YouTube channel called The Chef Mommy. And Heather's getting ready to do a whole kitchen line and all
We just love to
amazing
have y'all come
stuff.
back and
So
do it. Like I will say, when you say you love your
yes,
sisters and they're
you
with
you
you,
should you should have them individually, and then we'll
I
just all
will.
come. They are so
Yeah.
amazing. They're so amazing. I love my sisters, and my
Yes.
oldest sister in Atlanta, Dion, is killing it. She is. It's called Red's Kitchen Sink. Dion has a hair care line and a facial line, and she does natural supplements, sea moss gel. She's like sea moss queen, in like all over the world. People are buying stuff from her, and she is incredible. She just got her new warehouse in Atlanta. So like my family is doing it. I'm
Y'all work.
so
Listen,
excited.
work,
I'm so
sisters
excited.
and daughter. Work.
Yeah,
Okay.
so look up Red's Kitchen Sink.
Okay.
She has amazing products if you have high blood pressure, if you want your skin to look good. If you she I all during the pandemic, my sister sent us a box of herbs, cell defense, all kinds of stuff that you take. So
That's
look up
amazing.
redskitchensink.com. Amazing.
Is it red or reds with the S?
With an S.
I'm gonna put it in the chat just in case
Yeah.
people want it.
Telling
Um,
you, God is just doing amazing things, and I'm just looking forward to even more. And I mean, I know you haven't asked yet, and we talked about it, but the clothing line.
always coming next. Listen, after you got listen, you done plugged your
Listen,
sisters, and I'm sitting here like you can definitely tell the love you
I knew
have
you
for
were
your
going to ask,
sisters.
but it just kind of like segued perfectly,
Uh huh.
for things that are just happening. This is something that I've always wanted to do. I was the one that, would sit near my mom and make, well, all of us did, but I would make the best doll clothes, like from the scraps. My mom made all of our clothes. Again, single parent, she knew how to sew, but we looked amazing every single time we left our house for church. We walked to church because we didn't have a car, but we had the most beautiful dresses on my mom would make. And so I would always take the materials, the scraps, and just make stuff. And I just always loved
So you sew
fashion.
too?
I do not sew. I did not pick up that trait.
Okay.
I just liked to make the doll clothes like
Okay.
with my hand. Like she showed us how to use needle and thread. So yes,
Okay.
I can do the basics, but
M-
my daughter wants a sewing machine, and I'm definitely about to get her one because
Like what else can she not do at this
listen,
point?
my whole life I'm like, God, I know what I want to look like. I just can't find it. If I can make it, I just know. But as of like, as you get a little older and I start exercising and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I like stilettos and I like my high waist jeans and a beautiful sweater and leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but I also love being comfortable, chic and
Come.
comfortable at home or if I'm going to the gym. And so I was like, an athleisure line, duh. So that's what I
Mm.
created, y'all. And it is so phenomenal. I'm
The
so
link is in
excited.
the chat. Make sure you guys
Yes,
sign up
if you
because the
sign up,
launch.
yes, sign up at the website that you see, Shop Karima brand, and I'm going to send out a mass email letting everybody know the launch date. I'm excited. It's definitely really, really near. It's definitely close. We're bringing it into a close to like just to like release everything. But yes, and this will just be the first of many. And so I am already working on the second collection. Like
And you're
it's
wearing something tonight,
yes,
correct?
ma'am. I am wearing my windbreaker. I love it.
It's
It is
cute.
so
It's so cute. I saw
soft, and
that.
I came up with the design and the colors and everything,
It's cute.
and everything in this first line is in these colors. So you can get it
Oh,
separate. You can mix and match. There's jogging suits. There's everything. There's headbands. Yeah, you're gonna look fly working out or even lounging at home.
I love it. I love it. When I saw your picture, I was like, so I went to the website. I'm like, oh, I'm ready. And you're doing all
Yay!
sizes too, correct? You're going
Yes,
all the way
yes.
up
I'll
to,
I'll, I'll have extra small to 3X.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That is awesome. Well, we
Yep.
thank you so much for being with us tonight. I didn't
It
get any
was
questions in the
fun.
chat, but you got mad love
Oh,
from
thank you
people.
guys.
Family was on. Someone said your gift will bring you before great men.
Thank
Um
you.
Another friend said hi to me, but said I am glad Karima is doing well. Still a fan. So you still I'm telling you, we
Oh, thank
know.
you
We
guys.
know who you are. I was so excited when I got the press release about the single last year. So I'm just, it's all good. But it's been a pleasure to have you. But I definitely will be connecting with you
Yeah,
again.
keep in touch.
Definitely
Hmm.
know me. Let us know when you have the actual launch, so we can definitely share it with our listeners and viewers here at
I'm gonna
Gospel
make a
Central.
huge announcement for everybody to run to the page so they can see. I'm trying to build
And
all
have one of
my
those.
good clients. Yeah,
Yep, and have one of those prayers. Lord, sell out in X amount of days. Amen. Come on, because
girl, but you already know I prayed that, right?
of course you did. Of course you
I
did.
already prayed that,
Of
Toya.
course you did. Of course you did. I wouldn't expect anything different at this point. I do
Okay,
have one picture to show
okay.
you. So Michael Stewart started Gospel Central in 2014, and this is the picture
Oh
he
my
took of you and your
God!
sisters.
I'm
His first.
sorry.
It's okay.
He wants me to pick him up. You want to say
Listen,
hi?
hi.
He's like, "Will you pick me up, please?"
He said, "I'm
Say
done. I'm
hello.
done."
Oh my
Hi.
God! Yes, I
Yes.
remember
Yep.
that.
So this was Michael Stewart's first, I think it's Stellar
I
award event,
remember that.
and that is the picture. So I had to make sure I brought it up before you got off with us tonight.
Yay! I
But yes,
remember.
thank you so much. And guys, make sure you again connect with her on
Mhm.
Facebook and Instagram. And make sure you go to the website, shopkarimabrand.com, sign up for the launch. So that way you can make sure you get the amazing apparel. And even if
Okay.
you're a guy, sign up so you can bless your mom, your
Oh no,
sister,
there. I have men's
you
stuff on
men
there.
and women. You didn't even
Oh my
tell us.
God! Yes, I didn't say that. Oh my God, there's a incredible stuff for the men.
Oh, do you
Get
have
on
kids too?
there.
Are you doing kids as well?
I have a couple pieces for kids.
Okay.
I'm working out trying to find like bottoms and like
Okay.
cute but yes, there's t-shirts and sweatshirts. There's something for everybody on there.
Something for everybody. You heard it here first from Gospel
For
Central.
sure. Yeah, for
Again,
sure.
we're excited. We can't wait for your next single whenever that comes. I'm just
Oh,
hinting
it's
whenever.
coming. I'm actually getting ready to go to Miami and do a photo shoot because the new single is coming out in March.
So we got to have you back. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll just
yeah,
just be back. Just put
totally.
me on the list.
It's all in the
Circle
works.
back. Yes,
All in the
ma'am.
works.
Will you guys make sure
Thank you so
yes,
much.
ma'am. Thank
He's like,
you.
"Are you feeding me right
Listen,
now?"
I know you said he was going to eat your grapes and such, and blessings to your daughter and your sisters and your mom. So, Mad Love, I'm definitely going to check all your sisters out at this point. I mean, I'm just go down the list and just shop.
Oh,
So,
thank
will
you
you have a
so
good
much,
night?
Toya.
Thanks for
You
hanging out with
too.
me. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Well, that was amazing. Again, and make sure you connect with her. Also, I wanted to give a congratulatory or happy anniversary to Kirk Franklin on his anniversary today. And also, since we were talking about Stellars, if you didn't know, they are in Atlanta this year, July 15th through the 16th. So you want to make sure that you save the date. Of course, we want to be careful. COVID is still real and alive, but I wanted to make sure I share it. And if you're an artist watching, independent artists, they will be accepting the online form February 1st through February 15th. Um, So want to make sure that you go ahead and take a peek at that. And Music and Excellence in Music is still available to sign up. That webinar begins on the 26th. Mr. Stewart, he actually used that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And as always, you can join me every other Thursday, first and third at 8 p.m. I have amazing artists like you saw, Miss Karima, which is just like a blessing for me today, just full circle. Like I said, listen to her as growing up and just I'm just blessed. So you should be as well. And then also, if you're an artist and you want a tune review, I'm doing a tune review, which is second and fourth Thursdays in a blog. So would love to have your music. You can send that over to Gospel Indie Central for that. And if make sure you don't forget to tune in and listen to us on Tune In at Gospel Central. And you can definitely check out all the great stuff. So we love to have you and hanging out with us. But I am done, and it's just been a blessing. Normally, we only go 30 minutes, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. This was a great time. Again, hopefully your new year is going well. Remember what she said, do it afraid. Don't stop. Make sure you jump in and do it afraid. Make sure you ask God for what you want and what you need. Those things are important. So make sure you tune in to Gospel Central. Again, I'm your girl Talks with Toya, always working, always serving, always about him. Make sure you tune into with us soon. So I'll talk with you guys later. All right. Bye.